What's up, guys? Welcome back to T.W.T.V. My name's Trey, and today I'm going to share with you guys how to start and manage a reselling budget. I know that when I first got started, I was selling a lot of products, but I never knew exactly how much profit I was getting. So to help you guys out, I'm going to walk you through and show you how I got started with a spreadsheet and how I fill in that data. So to start, I want to first give a heads up and shout out to Spath for providing this spreadsheet. He had the first video up that I saw, and I've used his method ever since. The only thing I'm trying to do here is reshare it with you guys and provide a little bit better quality to what he was saying. So I'll provide the link down to the description for this spreadsheet. It's already got all the formulas in it that you might need. But essentially, when you get started, it'll first look like this. And obviously it says subscribe to youtube.com/spath. And we've got all these data cells. We've got the date sold, the buy price, sell price, PayPal in, shipping fee, etc., etc. And I'm going to walk you through what all of those mean. To get started, this is what mine looks like. And today we're going to enter in the data for these Daniel Caesar vinyls that I sold. To start, we're going to say that the day it was actually sold last night, which was February the 23rd of 2021. Now, the buy price, that is the price that you paid for the item. Because what these cells are going to do, it's going to take all those fees and what you got in your PayPal, subtract everything to give you exactly what your profit is. So the buy price, I bought these for $30.45. Next, we're going to look at what I sold it for. Now, I've provided screenshots to these PayPal transactions, that way to black out all the information and protect my sellers. So first here, we're going to look at the actual PayPal invoice. So my total the purchase total was here $72.41. So that was the total that came in through PayPal, which is what we're going to put right here. So it's $72.41. So we'll type in 72.41. That gives us our total of what came into PayPal. Our selling price. Now this I did an auction style, and this sell price list or column doesn't actually get included in your calculation. So feel free to put in whatever you want. I always put in what I started the auction at, and I started this auction at $40. The shipping fee, that is what you, the seller, actually paid to ship out the item. To see that here, I went to my very next PayPal transaction, which was me paying eBay for its shipping fee. You can see here it cost me $3.45 to ship out that vinyl. That is a little bit lower than what you'll normally come across of, just because vinyls are considered medium mail and you do get a pretty heavy discount for that. So again, we'll type in here that was $3.45. And I'm starting here with a negative symbol because that's actually coming out of the grand total that I got in through PayPal. So that was negative $3.45. And you can see once you punch that in, it highlights it in red to show that it is a negative. Moving on, then we've got your fees. And when you're selling online, normally there's quite a bit of fees that you'll come across. There's a PayPal fee. Unless you're on managed payments, there's an eBay fee. And you can see here we have one for miscellaneous fee. And I'll tell you what that is here in a second. So let's start with the PayPal fee. The PayPal fee on my purchase was $2.40. That's what PayPal charged for managing my payment and keeping both me, the seller, and the buyer protected. $2.40. So that was net, and again, that's coming out, so that's negative $2.40. All right, we've got three other fees to fill out here. The next is going to be the eBay fee. To find your eBay fees, you'll want to look at your eBay invoice, and again, I've provided a screenshot for that on mine. Here's what it'll normally look like. I've trimmed it up to not show more older stuff. But the Daniel Caesar vinyl, we've got two fees actually on that one cell. we have here a final value fee and a final value fee on shipping. Why that is in place, some of you may remember, some of you may not. Back in the day, I used to remember going on eBay and finding things that were listed for 99 cents, but then the shipping would be like $100. Sellers were doing that in order to avoid fees, because eBay was not charging you a fee on the shipping, they were only charging you a fee on the final sale price. So if you sold something for 99 cents and eBay took 10%, they got 9 cents, when really you made over $100 off the transaction. Eventually, the guys over at eBay got a little smarter than us and decided that they were just going to apply the same fee on both to avoid that. So here we have my final value fee of $6.40. That's what we're going to put here in the eBay fee, negative $6.40. Miscellaneous fee will take care of that shipping fee. That final value fee on shipping, which was 35 cents, that's what we'll plug in here in miscellaneous. So we'll go negative 0.35. Okay, so we're almost done. We've got almost all of our cells filled out for that one product. Now we have an ad fee. eBay gives you the option to promote your listing, putting you higher than the other sellers that are selling your same item. I usually never promote my listings. I usually never have to, but if you do, you'll get an ad fee, and that's what you would put there. And then taxes, obviously taxes on everything. To find your taxes, that'll actually be back on your PayPal invoice. So here we can see the tax on their purchase was $4.96, and it was collected by eBay. So we'll take that out as well, negative 4.96. Boom. So after our purchase, after all these fees and what we sold it for, we profited $24.40 off of that final, which in my opinion is pretty good. You can see here we've got some negatives in my page as well. Those are things I've learned my lessons from. So if you are negative on some items, don't take it too hard. It happens. It's just the price of doing business. Sometimes you learn from your mistakes. And we have a notes column here too. On some of these, I have provided notes as to maybe why I lost money on it. Like this one, it was a plush toy, and I lost $2.08 on. So I left myself a little note saying auction style, to remind myself that auctions sometimes can go your way, and if there's not a lot of interest in the product, sometimes they don't. The last thing you might notice on mine versus what you might see on yours to start out, you'll have almost nothing empty. On mine, you can see I have lots of empty cells here. These are all items that I have that I've went ahead and calculated what I paid for it, but haven't yet sold it. So I wanted to take it out of my total profit because it's money that I have put back into my reselling business. It's just inventory that hasn't yet sold. After it calculates all of this, you'll see a profit here of $461.88. This is my list as far as back as January, so this is all 2021. But there's something missing here too. What about stuff that we spend? Like obviously it costs to have shipping tape. It costs us gas to get to these places and find the items. And how you calculate all that is actually here in the very next page, expenses. You'll find here, this is where you're going to enter in all your stuff that you buy just for the business. It's not something you actually sell, it's just your expenses of doing this. So you can see here I have things like shipping tape that cost me $2.14. I put in here that I bought it from Dollar General, and you can also add any notes that you get. So there I've done a couple different expenses, mostly bubble mailers and tape. But you can see here too on number 6, I have replacement parts. If you purchase an item and you have to buy parts or paint or screws or anything to make that product back to where you can resell it, that'll go in here as well. Make sure to include that so you know exactly what your profit is. Overall, come over here to net profit at the very bottom, and that's where you will get your grand total of profit. So you can see I have $461.88 minus my expenses of $57.09, bring me to a grand total profit of $404.79 for this 2021 year. Oh, I hope that wasn't too fast for you guys. I know I did try to run through that pretty quickly. But yeah, it's important to know exactly what you're making. That way you can really decide for yourself if you're in the black or if you're in the red. If you're in the red, obviously you've got some things you need to fix. And if you're in the black, you can give yourself a pat on the back and know that you're doing a good job. All these things are super important to keep up with. When I first got started, I did not keep track. And then I never knew how much I was really making. And then when I went out sourcing to Goodwill and pawn shops, I never knew how much I could really spend without digging into my personal funds and outside of the business funds. So yeah, I hope this helped you guys. If it did, make sure to give me a big old thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below anything that you've learned from doing your reselling business. And if this helped, please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for my next videos.